Hello, my dearest friend. Welcome back to Yoga with Paige. Today we have a nice, gentle, anxiety-soothing practice where we intend to really let the stress go, let mental worry, thoughts that we have let build up, maybe something that's weighing heavily inside our head or our hearts, and we really just use our breath to release it. Let it out into the universe. Let the energy go. We're going to move it around very gently. Allow yourself to open. Don't force yourself in any of these postures. This practice is very beginner level friendly, but please modify as you need to, as you see fit, and really just focus on fostering that deeper inner connection, knowing that you are safe, and ground wherever possible. So with that in mind, grab any props you may want, some water, maybe a little blanket for our Shavasana, and we can get started lying on our backs. Beginning in corpse pose today, letting yourself settle in, beginning with a nice grounding posture to really help you connect to the earth, to its elements, its energy. Visualize it sucking all of the negativity out. It will hold it for you. Centering yourself with your breath as you breathe nice and even, in through the nostrils and out through the nostrils. We can use our breath as our anchor in this practice, knowing that amidst all of our anxieties, it's still here for us. Taking a gentle little body scan, seeing if you're holding tension in any areas of the shoulders, maybe the feet or the face. And let yourself loosen, breathing into any tight spaces. Finding one more nice big breath here. Really let yourself go. Take one big breath in. Reaching the hands up overhead. Squeeze everything. Squeeze the muscles of the legs, of the arms. Really reach the fingertips wide. Engage all that worry, all that tension. And exhale, release, let it go. One more time like that. Inhale. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Like you're holding a little stress ball in your fists. And release. Inhale, take the knees up over the hips. And exhale, draw them into the chest. Maybe finding a slight little soothing rock here for your lower back. Pressing it down into the earth. And then find about 5 hip circles one way, letting your knees draw big circles as your hips gently begin to wake up. And then reversing, going the opposite way. Noticing the breath. Releasing the mind. This is our safe space. And when you're finished, hug the knees back into the chest. Send yourself some love. Maybe take the forehead up to the knees. Really give yourself a nice little hug here. You can give yourself comfort. You are doing okay. You will always be okay. And gently releasing, coming up to a seat, making your way onto the knees, however you would like to get there, moving back to the middle of the mat. Finding a nice tabletop pose, spreading wide between the fingertips, really ground down through the tops of the feet. And just notice your presence here. Notice where you are, whether emotionally, physically, in the room. You are not in the past. You are not in the future. You are here. And on your next inhale, begin to find rounds of cat-cow, lifting the gaze. Breathe in all the positivity and exhale round. Let go of negativity. Moving with your breath. Finding nice, sweet, gentle, loving movements. Big, big inhale. And exhale. Maybe finding these last few rounds of a little bit of a deeper expression. Feeling a little bit warmed up. And when you are ready, tuck the toes and send the hips up, downward facing dog, walking the hands out. Taking a moment to feel the bottoms of the feet as we press away. Begin to find length, but take your time. Take your sweet, sweet time. No one is rushing you here. Bending one knee and then the other. Finding a nice static downward facing dog. Let yourself rest. Let yourself be. Ground down through the left foot. Swing the right leg back. Three-legged dog. Tap the mat. Send the left up. Replace. Keeping your hips square, raise one leg and then the other. Moving with control. Feeling your muscles engage and lengthen. Taking your last round on each side, making sure we're nice and even. Coming back through a nice downward facing dog. Exhale, press the chest towards the legs. Bend the knees, drop them down to the mat. Hands come underneath the chest. Untuck the feet and send the hips back, child pose. Maybe widen the knees a little bit. Really reach the fingertips out. Exhale, melt the heart down. Let yourself go. Feeling a little bit secure here, grounded down to Mother Earth. Letting your breath guide you back home. Allowing yourself a chance to surrender for a few breaths. Releasing tension in the arms. Big breath in. And exhale, send the hips back towards the heels a little bit. Press through the hands. Inhale, gently lift the chest, walk the hands back, take the knees together. If we took them apart for wide child, sitting up on the knees, Thunderbolt pose. Lying the palms on the thighs, facing up towards the sky or the ceiling. Find your positioning here. And we can stay here, closing the eyes, going within. Or we can carefully drop the head back if that feels okay. Working through the front of the neck, the throat. Breathing. Maybe gently letting the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Letting the shoulders drop down. Carefully bringing your head up to neutral spine, gazing forward. Take the hands, palms face down on the thighs, finding a gentle little twist to the right. Very small little twist. Creating length in the spine as you reach up through the crown of the head. Back to center. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms come together. And exhale, bring them to heart center. Finding this time for yourself, this little flow. Inhale to raise, perhaps taking the gaze up. And exhale, hands to heart. Flowing at the pace of your breath. Keeping the sit bones rooted down. Moving the prana, the life force around in your body as you breathe. Circulating the blood, circulating the oxygen. One more round. Exhale, hands come through heart center to twist to the left. Returning back, gazing forward. Carefully lifting up onto the knees for this kneeling pose, squeezing the glutes together, connect to the core, the abdomen, and carefully step the right foot up, coming into this 90-90 lunge. Your knees on top of your ankle, hips are stacked and square. Stay here, slightly tucking in the pelvis. Ground down through this top left foot, holding everything nice and steady. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, nice and high. Exhale, cactus the arms, palms face forward, thumbs face each other as we draw the heart center open, squeezing through the scapula. Create space. Breathe into the chest cavity. And on your exhale, draw the palms together as you round through the back. Hold here for 2 rounds of breath. Maybe tucking the chin in. On your next inhale, open back up to cactus. Allow the fingertips to gently float down by the sides. Stepping this right knee back with the left. Taking hands to the upper part of the bum here, drawing the elbows together, finding another slight little back bend. Just a few breaths, a little baby back bend. Opening up through the fronts of the shoulders. Drawing the navel in as you send the hips forward. Last breath. Carefully reach back up, neutral spine, ground down through the right foot, stepping this left up to our 90-90 lunge. Find your positioning here first before reaching the arms up. Exhale, cactus. Draw the elbows to the sides. Inhale, take the chest forward as the backs of the hands reach backward. Really pressing down through the feet. Big, full breaths. Invigorate your mind. Let any stressors go. And on your exhale, come back through neutral spine to draw the arms together, rounding through the back. Still keeping this nice control of the lower body. And inhale, reach back up, cactus. Exhale, fingertips float down. This time, carefully tucking this back foot to stand up to a nice mountain pose. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, press through the feet, stand up nice and tall. And you can do this facing the front of your mat, or you can step to the long edge. Wherever you are, hands come to hips. The feet are a little bit wider than hip distance apart. We're just going to stand here nice and tall, rooting down through the outer edges of the feet, coming into your center, aligning with your power. Even when we're not feeling so hot, even when we're feeling a little off, we stand up nice and tall. One more breath. Beautiful. On this next inhale, turn the toes out to the corners of the mat, arms extend shoulder height. Exhale, sink down into goddess pose, bending the knees. Inhale, straighten, turn the palms upward. And exhale, flip the hands, bend the knees. About 5 times like this, moving with your breath. Making these movements fluid. Maybe exhaling through the mouth. Especially if you have excess energy, let it out. Last one here. Inhale up nice and big. And on this exhale, really sink low, 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 low. Hold here for a breath. Hands can come to heart center. Beautiful. Straighten the legs. Heel toe them underneath the hips, coming into a little tree pose. So grounding down through this left foot. Picking up the right, placing it for your foot at the ankle, the shin, or the inner thigh. Maybe keeping your right hand on your ankle, finding some stability there if we can reach it, or on your leg somewhere. Connect to yourself, connect to your body, your home. And find a nice tall version of tree, keeping your focus point as you breathe and balance. 2 more breaths. And we switch sides. Whenever you're ready, try to land and release with some control. When we feel like we can't control our mind, sometimes trying to control our body can help. Carefully making your way into tree pose. On the other side, whenever you're ready. All in your time, my dear friend. This is your timeline. This is your journey. Keeping the chest nice and lifted. One more big breath in. And carefully release on the exhale, coming back to a wide-legged stance. Hands come to the hips and we prepare to fold. So take the feet out a little bit more than we had them last time. Really squeeze the lower body as you hinge forward from the hips. Maybe letting the fingertips find the mat. Maybe they reach for the ankles. We're here for a few breaths. Just allowing yourself to open. To reconnect to your breath. Notice how you feel in this moment. And carefully lift back up to fingertips. Turn to the front of the mat and step up. Taking the feet together, bend the knees very generously and hug your knees. Kind of like wrap your arms around your knees. And carefully make your way to the bum, where we plant the heels. Keep flexing the feet, reach for the toes, round through the back. You can give yourself a nice little hug here. Resting the forehead on the knees. Maybe feeling a nice stretch in the back of the neck. Carefully lifting the head, taking the hands behind the bum, extending the legs, staff pose, flex the feet. Lift up nice and tall. Root down as you lift up. We're here to take up space. Big breath in and out. On your next inhale, bend the right knee. Cross it, plant that right foot over the left leg. Taking the right arm, reaching it for the inside of the knee, taking the left hand behind the sit bones, and we find a little twist. So we're really grounding down with this left heel as we use this right elbow to kind of twist ourselves a little bit more, but we have to make sure we're not splaying out our knee here. We're nice and active. It's a full body twist. Taking up all of your mental power. There's no room to worry right now. And exhale, coming back to the center. Keeping this right leg crossed over. Carefully lay it on top of the left thigh. So your ankle is right above your knee, being careful not to place it on the knee. And carefully just finding a slight little forward fold, keeping the lower back nice and long. So if your hips start to lift up, just send yourself back a little bit. We don't need to go too far. Just feeling the back of the left leg, maybe the outer glute. And reaching back up, extending this right leg, coming through staff pose to bend this left leg, cross it over, finding your twist. Breathing nice and easy. Beautiful. Coming back to center. Crossing your left leg over your right and finding your version. Meet yourself where you're at today, wherever that is. And carefully releasing when you are ready. Coming into a nice, easy seat. Perhaps closing the eyes for a moment, just settling in. Inhale, take the shoulders up towards the ears, really scrunch them up, and exhale, send them back and behind. Working through a few shoulder rolls. Taking this time as another check-in, seeing how you're doing, noticing if anything changed as opposed to before we began this practice today. If you have any excess kind of anxious energy, I do recommend coming into a bound angle, pressing the soles of the feet together and butterflying out your legs, kind of working through any of that excess energy that you need to get rid of. Maybe you just kind of get wild and rock a little bit side to side. And if not, we are meeting in a nice, comforting child pose next. If you don't need all of this jazz, we will see you there. Remember, this is your practice, your healing time. Take what you need, leave what you don't. And when you are ready, sweet soul, I meet you in your child pose. Taking big toes together. Planting the forehead down as you meet the belly over the thighs. Let it hang out, nurture your soul, your body. Maybe taking the hands behind and reaching for both of your heels. Finding that nice space on the feet that you can hold on to. Connecting to yourself as you connect back to the earth. Giving yourself anything you need to soothe, to calm the mind. To release any residual stressors that we're still clinging to, that we're still holding on to. Just being with your breath. Let it guide you, nourish you. Inhaling in love and positivity. And exhaling out negativity. And staying here, or perhaps rolling onto your back and finding corpse pose. Preparing to end our practice with some breath awareness. So find a spot, a position that brings connection to you. Wherever you can feel the most at peace in this moment. Giving yourself a few more chances to just breathe. And to help aid in calming down your mind and relaxing the nervous system, we can attempt to change our breathing pattern by inhaling for a count of 4, holding at the top, and exhaling nice and long to a count of 6. Continuing this 4 count in breath and 6 count out breath for a few rounds at your own pace. And as we continue to breathe, we can express some gratitude for this body and this practice of self-care. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And I truly hope this was a healing practice for you, and we were able to cultivate some calm and some peace, and know that we can always take these feelings with us, these feelings of ease and support wherever we are. I thank you so much for joining me on the mat today and practicing here on Yoga with Paige. I send you all of my loving and healing energy, and I look forward to the next time we meet, my dear friend. Thank you.